Boo! Is that a good enough skit? Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a track review of Slipknot's new song, All Out Life. And because it's Halloween today, that's why I'm wearing the sloppy, terrible makeup, because nobody's gonna give me crap for it on Halloween. I'm really glad Slipknot dropped a song today because not only is it one of my favorite bands releasing a song on Halloween, but it also kind of gave me an idea of what to do today because I knew I wanted to upload something today, I just had no idea what. It's definitely Slipknot, just doing Slipknot. So going into the song, we start with this kind of slow intro that really builds up to this main riff. And in that way, it kind of reminded me of the Negative One from their last album, The Gray Chapter. This song's pretty different from that in the sense that, like, it's not quite as big and epic, I suppose. It's epic in a different way. It's very anthemic, and in that sense, it calls back to Slipknot's much earlier work. There's less melody throughout the song, and overall, the lead guitar tone sounds slightly different than like Iowa or Volume 3, anything around that era. There's kind of a more watery sound to the lead guitar in the main riff. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's interesting because there's this lower end to the guitars that sounds really nice and crunchy, and so it's a nice mix. It's a nice sound to be going on during the main riff and during the guitar moments. And when the verse comes in, we have Corey Taylor starting to scream, and the entire song, like I said, there's less melody here in the sense that there's really no melodic vocals whatsoever. It's just scream vocals, and I'm really happy Corey can still pull it off. I thought he was starting to kind of lose his scream just a bit on The Gray Chapter, but overall his screams have grown on me a lot on that album, and I think they're pretty good here too. He's got a pretty solid voice right now, to be honest, and I'm really happy about that because I don't want him to lose his scream. It's interesting because of Corey Taylor going on record saying this is going to be Iowa levels of heavy, because that makes sense so far with this lead single. You can tell they're trying to call back to Iowa in the main riff in specific, the kind of nature of it, and the fact that it's a pretty simple riff and there's not much going on in the song musicality wise. I think they can do simple well. They've done it well so many times in the past. I think they do it pretty well here. Something about the chorus reminds me of the title track from All Hope Is Gone, and I'm not really sure why. So I guess it reminds me of a mix of Iowa, just slightly, and it's mostly only near the beginning of the song that it reminds me of Iowa, but All Hope Is Gone, I'm getting vibes from that. I'm getting vibes from The Gray Chapter because of Corey Taylor's voice sounding pretty similar to how he sounded 4 years ago on that album. It doesn't really feel like it drags, but after listening to it about, what, 5 times now, I want to say, I don't think it will sour on me, but I don't think I'm going to be returning to this, like, constantly. I think it's a good choice for a lead single. It draws back in all the fans. It's a very solid song all around, and what I also want to get into really quick here is the lyrics. The edgy lyric that stood out to me a lot was, old does not mean dead, new does not mean best. Not only are they rhyming dead with best, which is like a little bit of a stretch, but that is like the main chorus line, and it's repeated several times throughout the song. And that's almost a strange thing for them to say. They might not be talking about their career or themselves in this song. This kind of just seems like an anthem to just like, oh, don't settle for mediocrity. I don't even know really what the message is supposed to be honest. I know that Corey Taylor gives this little speech thing in the bridge, which sounds a lot like Pulse of the Maggots to me. Basically, there's a lot of moments like that in this song, so I would say the lyrics are a tad weaker. Maybe there's an overall theme in the album that ties it together. We'll have to see. Again, I want to compare it to The Negative One. The Negative One was one of their best songs lyrically, if not their best song lyrically, in my opinion, because of all the weird vocabulary words thrown in there. I don't know, the nascent, the quotient, systemic, symbolic condition, and I'm trying to think of like how it goes, but there wasn't really any of that in this song, and I think it could have used a little bit of those like kind of stranger vocabulary words to make it sound even angrier and even like more intense, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this is definitely a hard hitter, of course, and even though the lyrics are not completely up to par, it's not a huge complaint for me. And there was one line I did want to shout out. I absolutely loved this line. I think it happens near the end of the second verse, and it goes, "Do you think when you act, or act like you're thinking?" That was like, yeah. Yeah, I liked that a lot. That was fun. Overall, yeah, this seems a tad bit recycled, but like, I really can't complain that much. It's still a banger, of course, and it still rocks, of course. And it's still a great song. Corey has his voice still. It's fun, and I'm really happy they released it today. I'm going to be replaying it a lot today because it's Halloween. I'm probably going to be blasting it tonight. It's going to be fun. The score, I want to give it, it's tough for me to choose, man, because I don't want to give it anything less than an 8 since Slipknot's one of my favorite bands, and I rarely give anything by them less than an 8 out of 10. I think I'll have to settle for giving All Out Life a strong 7 out of 10, and it's still a positive score, and I'm still happy with it, and I'm glad Slipknot can still bring it, and I'm excited for what they have to offer next. And I understand why this was released as a single. It has its audience that it is very much appealing to, and yeah, I dig it, but I mean, again, it's not one of their best things they've ever done or anything like that. So with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this review. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Boo! There we go. Is that a good man, I mispronounced that!